Well, a very eventful week, certainly in world news, and with regards to the stability and security of our brothers and sisters in Israel, a number of incredible, almost fantastical assassinations and strikes against our enemies. And there is a Jewish perspective to have when evil falls, as they should. We don't necessarily rejoice at death of really any individual, because that's not our job, that's not the Jewish way. We rejoice at the stoppage of evil and the great Kiddush Hashem, the sanctification of God's name that is created by such an overt act of God that they're able to assassinate the leader of Hamas in the middle of Iran, right in the heart of the enemy. Certainly we don't mourn for the loss of his life. It's good for the world, it's good for Israel, it's good for the Jewish people. And he was a truly wicked person. But more than celebration is a celebration of the reality of a new reality, or a magnified reality of God that is illuminated for the whole world, and hopefully even more so for the Jewish people and for you and me. And how we take that message and move on with it. And certainly we must take the message. We know that the next 24 hours, 48 hours are very, very critical, very nervous, very tense, very scary. It seems that if you talk to people in Israel, this has kind of been the norm, and is the norm. There is obviously very heightened tension and security, specific instructions of what to take to bomb shelters, should they need it for 2 or 3 days, etc. We must utilize this Shabbat to pray, to have extra concentration, not to waste our time, not to flow through the meals, through the holy day. Shabbat is a source of blessing and can protect, our rabbis tell us. And really, when we bury the evil in the world, there is movement forward. There is a Kiddush Hashem created. God's presence is able to be more manifest, and it propels the Jewish people forward. It's almost like a trampoline. We're able to spring off of that good event to accrue more successes. Amazingly, I was just looking at the Torah portion, which details the travels of the Jewish people in the desert. And the Torah portion in the second of the two double parshiot that we are reading tomorrow in the synagogue says that they traveled from a place called Kivrot HaTa'ava, and they encamped in a place called Chatzerot. And these are names of places. And the Torah actually goes through many, many names of places which we don't really know necessarily exactly where they are today. And you would wonder, why does the Torah need to tell us with these boring, monotonous details? And really the one lesson there is that every stop along the way that the Jewish people had to do, they must have done. And they would not have been able to find themselves at the end of the 40-year journey in the desert without every one of those stops. Every one of those stops taught them something new and critical for their own spiritual makeup and their own personality. And they had to go through that journey like rungs on a ladder. But more specifically, right in the middle of all the detailed travels, it says that they traveled from Kivrot HaTa'ava. Kivrot means the burial place of. Ta'ava is desire. So they traveled from the place of the burial of their desires. Vayachanu b'Chatzerot. And they camped in a place called Chatzerot. And one of my teachers many years ago said, you want to know how to reach the Chatzer, the courtyard, the house of Hashem, the courtyard of God, the courtyard of your own personal ambition and growth, and actualizing it? You have to bury your Ta'avot first. You have to first pitch camp, rest, and fight with your desires, the worst angels of your nature, so to speak. Once you do that, then you can proceed to the courtyard of God, to the courtyard of your family, of your spirituality. A very nice idea, very, very symbolic here, very appropriate. They buried one wicked person, a few wicked people actually, and it hopefully gives the Jewish people the strength, the koach, the fortitude to move on, and especially to endure what may be in the next day or 2 or 3 or 4 or month, who knows. We are in a heavy period of time called the 3 weeks, approaching the 9 days, as they're called, starting Sunday night, leading up to the saddest day of the Jewish calendar, Tisha B'Av. And it's so clear that the Almighty is setting up world history. All the chess pieces are in the proper place, all in order for the Jewish people to bury something, may it be an enemy, but may it also be our desires, our worst angels, so that we can eventually all together in the land of Israel, in our homeland, eternally camp by Chatzerot, the courtyard of the Almighty. May it be soon in our times. Wishing our brothers and sisters health, safety, and security for them and for all the Jewish people. May it be a Shabbat Shalom for us, and especially for them. Let's focus our minds, hearts, and prayers on them over the holy day of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.